Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to be talking about tips for using SEO on your website. This was an email that I sent out yesterday, and I want to start coming on here live every week to talk about the email, answer any questions, and also just spread awareness about the email that I do send out in case you guys aren't getting it and want to start receiving it. So, the email again is tips for improving SEO on your website. So, I'm going to read you some of it and then we'll talk about it. All right. Welcome. Thank y'all for joining. If y'all have any questions about this or any business questions in general, let me know and I'm happy to answer them. All right, so it says, last week, I spent a decent amount of time improving SEO on my website. If you aren't sure what SEO stands for, it's search engine optimization. In simple terms, it's specific keywords or phrases that people search for online. When you do this well, your products are discovered organically by anyone searching online. So that is why you would want to have this on your website because it's one of those things to where like if you can do it, when people search for things online, your products, your services are automatically going to pop up and you don't have to do anything else other than improving the SEO. So it really works behind the scenes. With that being said, SEO is a long term strategy. It's a way to generate traffic without posting or running ads. Okay, so for those of y'all who are sick of posting and you don't have the money to run ads, this is something that you should 100% consider doing. With that said, it shouldn't be your only strategy because it does take time to build. So, when you do this well and you do this for a long time, you begin to generate more and more traffic to your website. And if your website is optimized, that's more and more conversions. So, this I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about how it works. And then again, I'll give you the tips. So, the better SEO, the more Google recognizes your business for that search item. So, this is not something that you just kind of throw together and hope for the best. Okay. This is a strategy. And like with all strategy, like you have to have a plan. Okay. You got to do some research, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit of tools to do that. So the better SEO that you have on your website, the more Google is going to recognize your business for that particular keyword or key phrase. The better your SEO, the higher you rank on search engines. So Google recognizes you first, and then they start to show you on um, Google, whatever search engine you're on, it will start to show your domain as a higher ranking website, which means you're going to show up sooner than other businesses who have lower SEO. Okay. So instead of showing up on the 10th page or the 20th page, you can eventually start showing up on the second or third page. And depending how niche down you are, you may even have an opportunity to show up on the first page. So, how wonderful would that be if somebody comes to Google and they're searching for exactly what you offer? You got your keywords so tuned in, it's so niche down that they come searching for that particular product or service. And this really works well with services because most of the time people are looking for a local service. And so you have the opportunity to show up very early when people are searching on Google. This, y'all, don't sleep on this. And also don't just throw blog posts out there and hoping they stick. Okay. I'm gonna give y'all some tips next. So with SEO, a lot of people, hey, how you doing? A lot of people, what they will do is they'll just reference SEO and just think they got to put out a blog post every week or every month, and that's going to do the trick. It's so much more than that. Okay. So This is these are the places that you need to add SEO to your website. All right. If you guys are unable to take notes right now, all of this is posted on my website because we are live right now. I will be posting this full replay to YouTube. But if you want to see all of this and maybe print it out, I do have it on my website. So every week I send y'all an email of tips or some type of small business motivation. I may share a challenge or something that I've done in my business. So I'm sending that out every single week and I upload the email to what's called the Beyond Skincare Journal. So part of why I'm doing this is because what I have realized being a wholesaler is there are so many small businesses that have no idea how to sell product. You have no idea why you're not making sales. You have no idea really what's going on in your business. And it is painful to continue to sit by and knowing that I can help and I can serve and just sit by and continue to let people order product after product or tell me that they want to launch a business and not do my due diligence by letting them know all the things I am learning along the way. Uh, I have a lot of resources on my website, ebooks, things like that, that really dive deep into business. But my hope is that I can help someone who is struggling in their business, who truly wants to transform their business. They are doing all the work. Uh, it they're just stuck because they just don't know. So I do hope that if you listen to this video, if you're watching, that you truly take action on this because I'm gonna share my results with SEO at the end. So the first place you want to consider, and again, it's really not in any type of order because SEO should be in all of these places. Again, it's not just a make a blog and call it a day. All right. So one of the places is your home page. Okay. I have Shopify. I don't know what platform you're on. If you're a product based business, I encourage you to check out Shopify because there's just, um, there's a lot of benefits for product based businesses online through Shopify. With your homepage, you want to make sure that you have keywords and key phrases on your homepage. Okay. Those are words that people or are searching online. Okay. This again, it's going to take some research, finding out what those words exactly are, but those need to be on your homepage. They also need to be in your meta title and your meta description. So every single website has a title and it has a description for that website or business, whatever you want to call it. And so you need to update not just your homepage, but also that meta title and that meta description with keywords. Okay. Um, yes. So beyond skincare, it has my emails that I have sent out. Just every single week, I've been sending these emails. Um, and you can find that on Beyond Skincare. The ebooks, depending on where you are, um, the skincare business playbook, that is going to be for people who are in the launch phase, or maybe you've launched and you're trying to relaunch because you ain't do it right. That's a great resource. If you are making consistent sales in your business, you have a good foundation, you're just having a hard time figuring out like why you can't make more sales. That's where the how to make more online sales book I would recommend. But a lot of people, they think it's sales, but really you have a completely broken foundation and you need to go back and mend. You need to do some repairs. So the playbook is good for that. But check it out. Your product based business, I use Shopify. It's challenging to navigate it though. I'm happy to give you some guidance. If you want to hop on a one-on-one call, I do have those available on my site. I don't think that shop I think it's actually very user friendly. I think if someone kind of sat down with you, you would have a lot more confidence because it truly is. And I never recommend for other people to outsource their website because there's just too much that you need to do on a regular basis. And when you outsource it, one, it's very expensive. And two, you're always waiting on somebody else to do something for you. Um, but it for me, I think it's pretty user friendly. I've worked on some other platforms. Again, I think it's just if you have someone to just kind of sit down and point some things out to you and show you how to navigate it. Um, yeah, yeah. And when you outsource, what happens is people do a whole bunch of stuff that you're not aware of. And so then it becomes difficult when you want to make a change to actually make the change. Yeah. Mhm. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you enjoy working with Shopify. And I hope that it is more beneficial in the analytics uh, verse how Wix was. Okay. Continue to drop your questions and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the SEO. So the homepage, again, your meta title and your description, those need to have SEO in those, as well as your homepage. Oops. Your product page. This is a big one. This is a big one. You need to fill your product page with SEO, but you don't want to fill it in a way to where it's redundant. Okay. It still needs to flow. And so you got to be creative about this, but you want your product page to have SEO built into it because that way someone's not just being directed to your website. If they are in need of a certain product, it's going to take them straight to that product page. Okay. Um, there's so much that goes into this in terms of website optimization, but I do want to just stay focused on SEO because I can go on a whole thing about building a high converting product page, but we do not have time for that today. Maybe I'll try to do that in a future email for y'all. Um, so your product page, adding SEO into your product descriptions. And then also, again, you want to add it into your meta title, your meta descriptions, and your meta tags. So this needs to be all throughout your product page. And you're going to do that um, within the Shopify product page. Okay. Or at the end, I'm going to give you an app that I use that helps with this as well. Okay. So we talked about your homepage, your product page, blog posts. You do want to write blog posts, but you need to be strategic about the blog posts. You don't just want to write any blog posts. You want to make sure that you are writing blog posts based off of SEO. So you don't get an idea for a blog post and then go back and find the keywords. You have the keywords and then you build a blog post off of that. Okay. This is why some people may not be seeing much happen with their blog posts. And blog posts, the goal isn't necessarily for visitors to convert, although that's what we want. And if that happens, that's such a blessing. But the goal is just to make that introduction, to establish your business. And so the hope is that they go to your blog page and maybe they sign up to your email list. That's a win because now you got their information and you can communicate, right? But think about it like that. You have the keywords and then you're building a blog post off of those keywords. Again, the keywords need to be repeated, but you have to be creative because you do want it to flow. You want it to be an easy read. You don't want it to be like, why do they keep saying that? You- it needs to be, it needs to make sense and not just be like super repetitive. All right. So again, I'll share the app that I'm using to help with that. But let's move on to collection pages. Okay. Your collection pages, if you have um, multiple collections for those who have multiple products, your collection pages need to have SEO. They need to have those specific keywords built in. And if you do not want those descriptions to show on your collection page on your website, you can hide the description. If that's too much for somebody to read, you don't have to make that visible, but you do want it built into your website. I hope that makes sense. So Shopify is the site to sell your products. You make your website there, or you make a website and have Shopify separately. Yes, so Shopify is the website platform that you are going to sell your products on. That's the one that I recommend. There's a Big Cartel, there's Wix, there's what are some other ones? Squarespace. I recommend Shopify. If you have a primarily product-based business, I would get your stuff on Shopify. You can get a domain through Shopify, or you can get a domain from anywhere. There's multiple websites you can buy a domain from, and then you would have to link that to Shopify. What I would do is just do it on Shopify. That's the easiest thing. Everything's in one place. You don't have to worry about nothing else. Domain's automatically going to renew through Shopify. So that's what I would recommend. Just open your Shopify account and get your website and everything straight through there. Okay, so that's kind of an overview. Your homepage, your product page, create blog posts, and then your collection pages. Those are the main places you want to insert SEO if you are just getting started with this. Okay, those are the 4 places that you want to focus on making sure you have SEO. Lastly, this is a separate thing, but this is extremely helpful in proving your site worthy, okay, to Google. So, lastly, adding backlinks helps to improve SEO performance. So, what are backlinks? Backlinks are links from other websites to yours. Okay, it's a backlink. It's linking from their website to your website on the back end. Nobody sees it. Nobody really, like, somebody knows, but it's the customers don't know or anything like that. Like, it's all behind the scenes. Uh, and so the backlinks are links from other websites to yours, and they act like votes of trust in Google's eyes. So the more backlinks that you have from verified other websites, this is going to make Google believe that your website is trustworthy. And so what does that do? That moves your position up on Google. So you not only have the SEO moving you up, you also have backlinks showing this website is trustworthy. Again, I will give you the app for what I use here in a minute, but I want to get through this material because I wrote it in an order. The more quality sites that link to your website, the more Google sees your site as helpful and trustworthy, which can help you show up higher in your search results. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So it's not just the having the SEO. Having these backlinks is also going to improve your trustworthiness in the online space. Okay, that's very, very important if you want to show up in a higher position. All right, good. I'm glad that makes sense. Okay, so how do you get started with all of this? Because I know I said a lot and I know it can feel overwhelming, but this is what I would recommend. You can do all of this by yourself with the support of AI. You can. It's going to take a little bit longer, but you can 100% do it. You can hire someone. This is not cheap. Okay? I did this back in maybe it was 2020. I think it was like 2022, 2021, maybe 2022. I hired somebody. I was paying her like $200 a month to help me with SEO. And I ended up having to let her go for doesn't matter. Nothing she did. She was awesome. But I paid her like $200 a month. And this was several years ago. And this was a referral from a friend. And she was, uh, I think she was actually more. So that kind of gives you a gauge that if you do hire somebody, um, it is going to run you a nice little penny. Okay. So that is another option. The other option is you can use an app that integrates with your website, and that is what I do. I actually, um, well, let me get to that. The app, it is $29 a month. I have no affiliation. I'm not a promoter for the app. I just know I've used it. It's been extremely helpful. And for $29 a month, hey, I'm all for it. Okay. They with the $29 a month, you get up to 300 backlinks. I am approaching that number. And so I have to make a decision. Am I going to tap out and just have that? Or am I going to upgrade? I don't know. I got to look at the data and see if continuing to improve can generate the difference of me upgrading the service. I have to see. But I'm getting ready to tell you, I probably will end up upgrading because it has significantly improved my placement on Google. So it's $29 a month and it helps you. This is what it does. This is what I have it do for me. For $29 a month, it helps you find keywords, write blog posts, product descriptions, and apply for backlinks. Okay. Like I said, I'm almost to 300. And I think when I started, maybe I had 100 or so. I don't know. But I've been able to get a significant amount of backlinks through having this website. Now, what I do is I use a combined strategy. So I use AI to help me with the copywriting and finding keywords. So what I mean by that is I use the app and it's called SEO Will. So it's SEO and then will, like I will go to the store, WILL. Okay. That's the app, $29 a month. Um, I will use it to generate information and I will plug that product description into AI and I will say, hey, this is the keyword because sometimes it's just too robotic. And I talked about this in my last email about I share some tips of using AI, but I also share some downfalls of it. And it is too robotic. And so I will plug it into AI and have it make it better, and continue telling AI to make it better until I'm comfortable with it. The other thing is the app doesn't necessarily generate the best keywords. And so I will look at their keywords and see what they come up with, but I will also use AI to do research and figure out what keywords based on this product or this pain point. Like, what are people searching for? Okay. The other thing you want to keep in mind, and I don't want to go off on a tangent on this, but you also want to keep in mind that the keywords are searchable, but they're not overly searched. It's a very concentrated market. It's going to be really hard to grow because everybody's searching for the same thing. So you want to stand out. So that's another way that I use AI to find me keywords that are appropriate for my products, my brand. And then I also use it to revise the copy. Okay. So that's what I do. So in the last 12 months, I moved from position 25.6 on Google to 12.7 on Google. Okay. That's a big jump in just a year. And so when I seen that, I was like, absolutely, it's worth it because I know I'm getting organic traffic and that traffic is converting into sales. And I'm continuing to move up on Google. So what people are telling me is your customers will start telling you what they search for. They'll be like, yeah, I searched for this and I'm so glad that your business popped up. So pay attention to that. That may be something that you want to conduct a survey on. Like, as if you want to move into doing the SEO strategy, that may be a starting point, is surveying, and you can have ChatGPT help you with this. Hey, I'm looking to get started on SEO. I'd like to put together a survey to ask my audience, or my customers rather, because you want people who have shopped with you. You want to know if they have searched you online before, and what did they search for? Were they searching for a product and they found you? Were they searching for um like an answer to something and they found you? And just see if you if you're even popping up as it is for them. And like I said, you can have AI put together a little survey for you, and use something like Google Forms or a type form or something like that that's free to do it. Okay. So I moved from 25.6 to 12.7 on Google. Imagine if you spent 1 hour per week working on SEO for the next 10 months. What if you moved from spot 50 to 40? In the next year, you move from 40 to 30. How amazing would that be? Just working on it, for an hour a week or a couple hours a month, right? That would be amazing. And then I do have a pro tip for y'all. In order to be able to really track your SEO, Shopify, I don't even know if Shopify has this data. I know you can get the data through the app, SEO will, but you have to be on a higher plan to get more data. So you can get your business connected to Google Search Console, and your business should already be on there anyways. If it's not, I would work on that this week, is getting your business connected, because you're going to be able to get a lot of valuable data from their insights. So they're going to give you insights on your SEO performance and just generally like your website performance. What keywords are they already searching for on your website? And like, how many people are coming to your website? Like, this is separate than like what Shopify gets. It's it's through Google. And so I would get connected on there. It's free. You just got to get your business connected. And if you do not know how to do that, you can utilize ChatGPT. And I even put uh in my email, I said, if you need help, you can find the exact instructions by asking ChatGPT to provide you a step-by-step dummy-proof manual to connect your site to Google Search Console. Y'all can do this. Y'all can do this. I know you can. I do hope this was helpful, and I do hope that you will look into this, because it's great to be able to post on social media and uh, get that traffic to your website. But if your business is online and you're not, like, this past year and this year, I'm not doing vendor events. I'm just not doing it. It's too much of my weekend. It's too hit or miss for me. And I also am not willing to pay the upfront cost for some of these vendor events when there's no guarantee. And it's, you know, 12, 14-hour days. I'm not doing it. And so I rely on online to make my sales. That's how my business runs, is online. And so, yes, it's great to post and be able to get traffic from social media. It's great to have a referral program, a rewards program, like all that stuff is great to get other people to your website. However, it's just something to be said about Google putting your business out there, and just organically getting people to your website when you've literally done nothing but implement this strategy. So, let's see. The Mrs. Type, she says, Is it like once you set it, you forget it? No, no. Nothing should be a set it and forget it. It can be a set it and you'll watch it later, but nothing you do in business should ever be I'm just going to do this and it's out of sight, out of mind. It's never have to do it again. Even your website, you set your whole website up, you're going to constantly be monitoring and tweaking that to make sure that it's running smoothly, that it's converting well. And so you're always going to be checking on that. Same with SEO. You're going to be continuing to add SEO and refine things the more that you learn and the more that your business has it. Like you're going to continue to just, I'm telling you, like, once you see the power of it, like you're going to want to continue to keep monitoring it and keep improving it and keep adding because it is very powerful. And again, it's not one of those things to where you're having to check it daily or post daily. It's one of those things to where like you can dedicate, I don't dedicate a weekly allotment of time. I more so will review it maybe once a month and maybe I'll do like a deeper review once a quarter. So that's kind of how I do it, but it's not like a set it and forget it type of thing. Thank you. It says, "No worries, God got me." And he absolutely does. I was thinking about, okay, so that's all that I had on the SEO. Feel free to ask questions about SEO or just business in general. I'm happy to answer those. I'll probably be on here till about 2 o'clock. So that's about 8 more minutes. I was thinking about doing vendor events, but it hasn't sat well with me because of the time it takes. Thank you for sharing your experience. You're welcome. That is what stopped me from doing vendor events. I was doing the vendor events and I was making money, but the amount of money that I was making wasn't making sense for the amount of time I was investing in it. It wasn't adding up. It was like I might as well just go get a part-time job somewhere because it wasn't making sense. It takes a lot of preparation even before the day of the event, and then the day of the event, it takes hours, and it's just it was not worth it. I think if you can find some amazing events and just focus on those. Like maybe you have a quarterly event that has done really well, and so you just show up to that. But that wasn't my experience either, and that was partially my fault that I didn't put in enough effort to find those events. But again, it wasn't worth it to me to keep looking for events because I was doing events and it just wasn't making a lot of sense, time wise and financially. Yes, always be in your data, looking at what's going on with your website to make sure that things are moving along because things change. What works in one season may not work 2 seasons later. I had a really great run with how my website was set up. And then I don't know what happened, but then it's like my conversion started falling and I had to regroup. And so we have to make sure that we are monitoring those things. So if something changes or it's not working as well, we're able to catch it and change it. Do I have a mentorship program? I do not have a mentorship program. But again, I am coming on here weekly. I'll be on here for about 30 minutes a week to pour into you guys, answer any questions you have. And if you want to work one on one with me, feel free to book a 30-minute strategy call. I have those on my website right now. It's 30 minutes for $30. You can't beat that. Okay. You just can't. People are charging so much money for little information. Um, and the Lord has really put it on my heart. I can't do it for free. I come on here for free, but I want to serve my community at an affordable price because I know things are hard. I got my sales ebook. If you want to make more sales, that's $19. If you implement everything that you learn in that $19 ebook and you don't make $19 back, I have failed you miserably. Uh, Skincare business playbook. It's like 100 pages of information, step by step. I break it down for you. I have that on there for $97. If you can't pay $97, it's okay. You can name your own price. I know times are hard. I don't want you to struggle in your business. I truly don't. But I also can't give away everything for free because people don't do well um when everything is just given. And so for one thing that I'm offering in this season is name your own price. Whatever you can pay. My thing is I just want you to do the work. I want your business to grow. I don't want you to end 2026 and your sales haven't increased. You still don't know what's going on in your business. You're confused. Um, I'm tired of hearing that from small business owners. It pains me. It really does. No, you really can't beat it. And my thing is, like I said, I can't give everything away for free because I do have a family, but I want to be affordable because people need it. People need it. Hey, girl. All right. So, do y'all have any other questions? Hopefully, we are able to talk more on our strategy call. Again, they're 30 minutes because my goal is not to overwhelm you with a whole bunch of information. I want you to tell me what your problem is. I'm gonna give you a action plan or strategy, and I want you to go do it. I want you to do it. And if you need to book another strategy call a month later, we're gonna do the same thing so that you can. I don't know if you want to call it an accountability, but I want people to walk away with a plan and feel confident that they can do it. And if you need me for the next month, book another call. But we've got to take action. And we've got to be disciplined to do the work. All right. If y'all don't have any other questions, I'm gonna hop off of here. Giving things for free is against the universal principle. I come on here and I share a lot of content across my different platforms. Um, but people who want to truly grow their business are willing to invest something. And I'm not here to crack heads and take advantage of people. I'm struggling myself. Okay, we all struggling. It's hard times. The price of food is outrageous. Okay, it's outrageous. Uh, so that's not my goal. But my goal is to invest in people that are willing to invest in themselves because that's who I desire to work with. My first time live too. Glad I joined. I'm glad too. Thank you so much. My first time catching you live. Awesome, awesome. Well, we will be doing this again next week. Again, my goal is to come on here. I was supposed to come on here yesterday, but didn't make it. So I hope to come on here next Wednesday or Thursday around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I think that's a good time. Just pour into y'all, answer any questions y'all have, and read the email and expand upon that. I'm glad I joined. That's a major shift. God is putting his people together. Amen. All right, y'all. Thank you everyone for being on here. We will do this again next week. I hope that y'all have an amazing rest of your week. And I pray that, you do take action on something today. Every day, take some type of action. It don't have to be a big action, but take some type of action to move the needle forward. Um, Otherwise, it just gets easier not to do anything, and then now you don't fell behind. So make it a goal today to do something, whether it's small or just get something done, and that will carry over into tomorrow. Get something done tomorrow and just every day do something. Again, it don't have to be a big project, but just prioritize doing something so that you can continue to move your business forward. All right. I love y'all and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.